Okay, before we begin, I do need to stress that this video is about to contain some spoilers for the new war. In fact, literally within 10 seconds, we're going to be chucking up a little bit of the quest. If you have not done the new war yet, do not watch this video because you're going to get spoiled. So take this warning, and if you are going to continue, I am assuming that you have done the new war. So, without further ado, let's have a look at this new weapon. I am extremely erect. You have no idea how excited I am. You may think you have an idea of how excited I am right now, but you don't. Jesus Christ, it's so good. Whatever you may believe is the level of excitement that I have right now in getting this bow. I need you to put a multiplier of at least 10. And even then, there is a 95% chance that you have not yet, you still do not fully understand how excited I am about this kind of gameplay. So, as you can see, we are using the new bow in Warframe. It is called the NATARUK, and you get it, of course, after completing the new war. This bow is kind of nuts. So here we are in the simulacrum with Mag Prime. Now, first things first, I do need to point out that there is currently what I believe to be a bug with the NATARUK, which is that if you try to use this in a mag bubble, it shoots up. This was something that used to be the case with something like the Kuva Brahma. So because the interaction with the Kuva Brahma was eventually removed, I am assuming that that is in fact a bug. Now, in terms of its normal gameplay power, this weapon slaps like crazy. That's it. That's it. It's really, really strong. So let's have a look at the build that we're using with the NATARUK. And this is the build that I am using on the NATARUK. It is a one former build. And the main reason we're using that one former is to put a D polarity here so that we can fit in Galvanized Aptitude, Condition Overload. Otherwise, this weapon comes not only with cracked stats like crazy, but also 4 V polarities, which makes it super duper easy to build even on a 0 former build. You don't necessarily need Condition Overload at that point. We're going for Galvanized Chamber because, of course, that's really, really powerful, especially with extra kills. You get even more multi-shot, which just makes it ridiculously strong. We're using Galvanized Scope for that extra critical chance when you're aiming and doing a bunch of headshots, along with Primary Deadhead. That is just basically how I roll. We're using Condition Overload because Condition Overload is ludicrously strong on a weapon like this. We're also going for a Crit Stat Hybrid build by going for Vital Sense Hammer Shot for that extra critical damage, but then also Hammer Shot and 60/60 Viral mods in order to get us that extra status chance. And on top of that, we're using Prime Shred because this weapon is actually not an explosive weapon like the Brahma or the Lens, which means Prime Shred is actually very, very powerful on a weapon like this. That extra punch through does make, in my opinion, a pretty sizable difference. Now, when it comes to the stats of this weapon, the main stats that you probably should think about are the Charge Shot and the Perfect Shot. The Perfect Shot, of course, is if you were to release the charge about 3/4 of the way in, because there's that little interval where you get to do even more damage. But the main difference in that damage is a slightly higher critical multiplier. At base, it's 2.4 versus 2.2 for the Charge Shot, and slightly higher critical chance. 60% critical chance, which is even higher than the Dread, by the way, versus 50% critical chance, which is, of course, the critical chance of the Dread. This weapon also does 900 base damage, as opposed to the Dread and the Paris Prime's 200 base damage. Plus, this also has infinite ammo. So, pretty much in every way, shape, and form, this weapon is the Garnu, the most broken of the single target bows. So naturally, it currently has a rivet disposition of 1 dot. I would never expect this to have a higher rivet disposition than 3. Considering that the Paris Prime has a rivet disposition of 5, and its stats are the way it is, I really do not expect the NATARUK to ever get a rivet disposition higher than 3. In fact, I honestly would be surprised if we even get a 3 dot disposition on this weapon at any given point in time in the game. Outside of that, I am choosing to use Hush because this weapon is actually a very, very noisy weapon for some reason, despite the fact that it's a bow. So, personally, I recommend using Hush. That way you can use this weapon with someone like Ivara if you really desire. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. What do you think about the NATARUK? Is it extremely strong, or is it somehow even weaker than you were hoping for? I mean, surely that can't be the case, because this weapon is ludicrously strong. It's got the highest crit chance, it's got the highest crit damage multipliers, it's got the highest base damage in the game, it's got infinite ammo as well, although when it comes to single target bows, they all basically have infinite ammo at this rate. I mean, I feel like this weapon is just so hilariously strong that there has to be, in the future, and hopefully, you know, post-New War shenanigans, that there's going to be weapons, or rather, there's going to be enemies that can sustain that kind of damage, which makes them worthy of going up against the NATARUK. So hopefully, we will be seeing that real soon. Maybe extra steel path, double steel path enemies that really do demand just ludicrous amounts of damage that come from, for example, extreme Riven Paris Primes or a NATARUK. We'll just have to see. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!
The raid is off to a successful start. Extraction is available if you need it.